Hello and welcome to another Wine and Wellness Sisterhood editions. I am here with the beautiful Kate. I'm so happy to have you here. I saw her transformation last week or the week before and was just like, holy freaking crap, first of all. But then second of all, I loved the words that you wrote. And probably even more, I loved the words that you wrote, which is why I reached out to you, and I will read those words in a minute. But welcome. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm so
Thank you
excited.
so yeah, thanks, babe. So tell me, so your photos, which I'm going to show in a second, but 4 months ago, talk me through day one, where you were at, what kind of happened, what sparked your interest, what was going on with you physically, mentally, whatever you're willing to share.
Awesome. So, this is a funny story, right? Because I came back from a really big holiday last year, and I think you get settled in. And this is the same thing as me going to silly season now, which is exactly why I'm doing the 12-day cleanse, because sometimes you just lose some consistency and you start saying yes, and then you don't stop saying yes. And that is
Yeah.
exactly what happened from my holiday last year all the way until probably July, because lockdown happened for us in Melbourne, and Matt and I just were like, oh, we'll get takeout tonight. All right, tomorrow night. And then you just start going into this routine where it's just not healthy. And I remember at the time following Anna, really from the bushfire season. I just thought she
Ah,
was just so empowering. And when I was watching her stories, I remember saying to Matt, I was like, I need this person's energy. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get it, but this is the energy I need. I just want to feel this amazing. And it was just so funny, like feeling like that from someone's Instagram, because it's
mhm.
just so random. Like, you've never met this person before, but you just feel like connected.
Yes.
Anyway, for the July cleanse, I ended up reaching out and saying yes to doing the 30-day reset. And when I did it, I had this I sent Anna all my bank details. I said yes, I selected all these products. And then I had this overwhelming feeling of I've done the wrong thing. And it was really interesting because I didn't feel good. I wasn't sleeping. My clothes were tight. I'd put on like 10 kilos. My skin was all, I was not okay. Like, I was really stressed, couldn't sleep. And I remember when I pressed submit, I was like, I've done the wrong thing. Like, I think I've been scammed. I remember texting a girlfriend, like, I'm going to do this. Do you want to do it with me? And she was like, oh no, don't do that. Like, it's not a good system. You're not going to have a good time. And I'd already paid for it. And I remember this, I'm actually getting goosebumps telling you the story, because I remember being like, I'm just never going to get that money back, and it's done. And I think I text Anna and I was like, oh, I'm just feeling a bit weird about it. And she was like, don't worry. She's like, look, try it and no harm done, right? Like, let's just give it a go. If it's the worst case, you get your money back. What happy days, right? So I decided at the time, because Matt and I have a YouTube channel, that we would record the full 30 days. I was like, I'm going for it. One of my goals was just to worry less about what people thought as well, not just
Yes.
the health and say the health
Not just cleanse your
aspect.
body, but cleanse your
Yeah,
environment.
like,
Yep.
because I was just so weirdly impacted by one of my friends saying this, that I was
Yes.
like, why am I like going to not make a healthy choice because someone has assumed or heard something negative from years ago to stop me from doing what I want to do?
Yep.
Anyway, my box arrived, and that sort of feeling still continued, because when I opened it, I was like, because I'm in brand and marketing, right? So when I opened it, I was like, oh, Anna, like, these products just seem a little old fashioned. And this was before like bone broth had come out and all of these, and beer. I didn't have any beer at the time.
The whole rebranding hadn't
The
taken
whole
place.
rebranding hadn't happened at all. And Anna was like, watch this space. Like, you're in for a treat. You're going to love it. Anyway, I did the 30 days, and I reckon it wasn't even week one when I just started little things. My sleep went from bad to amazing, and even to this day now, amazing. Um, Things like clarity, like, and it's so funny
Mhm.
because when I talk to people about, like, do you guys want to, you guys are going to feel amazing, have mental clarity, people are like, oh, I don't need mental clarity, I just want to feel good in my pants. And I'm like, no, seriously, like, you don't understand how clear your brain feels. So those things started happening really early on. And I remember just being like, wow, like, I've not felt this good in a really long time. And I don't think I've ever felt this good from doing 8-week challenges and all sorts of things. But I was also really, it's only week one. Like, let's see how it goes. Maybe I've been scammed. We'll see. I don't know.
Isn't that amazing that you can start to feel good and still that ego part of your brain from someone else's, or, you know, that buyer's remorse kind of stress, because that's usually something that's happened in the past, or like someone's opinion, even though the truth is presenting itself, that brain can pop in and be like, no, it's not real. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I remember doing my first cleanse, and at this point I was still like videoing it and reporting how I was feeling each day. And my first cleanse, I was like, it actually was really easy. It was a busy day. I had so much on, and it was a busy day where I would usually eat more because I would probably make an unhealthy choice. So I might order Uber Eats, for example, versus, you know, being prepared the day before. So it really worked for me because I was so busy that I knew that I was on a plan, I was going to stick to it. And I was like, I'm up for the challenge. Let's do the 30 days. And the next day on the Friday, because I did it Thursday and I still do it every Thursday to this day, I was a new person. I remember waking up and my skin was like so clear. My nails had grown, like, and I was like, this is really weird. We'll keep going. We'll see how it goes. And it wasn't until day 30 when we kind of reported back and I saw my first before and afters. And I was like, I am obsessed, and I'm still obsessed today. I have a chocolate mint smoothie every day with peanut butter. I cleanse every Thursday. I'm still having fantastic results. And things like, I went from not running at all. In that 30 days, I did 1 kilometer, just 1K around the block. And I thought I was going to die. It took me 12 minutes. I remember getting to the end, and I think Matt filmed me when I got to the door, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. If I can get to 2K, then happy days, like that's fine. I run now at least 40 kilometers a week. So I do a long run on Saturday. So every Saturday I'll do 10 to 14. During the week I'll do, a few different 5Ks. I've had some amazing PBs in that time. Recovery's been amazing.
Yeah.
The performance range of Isagenix is probably the best I've ever had.
Yeah.
And this is going from someone too who's yo-yoed really significantly, like going to like super fit body to, you know, really feeling not great in clothes and really feeling sluggish and putting on a lot of weight and not having any tone at all. So I've tried products, I've tried protein, I've tried BCAs, and this is the part where I've just really looked forward to it. Yeah. Which is really rare because I don't think I ever had a protein before where I was like, oh, I can't wait to work out.
Yes.
Whereas now I like run home and I'm like, I need my post-workout.
So true.
And it's just really weird because if I think back often to one, I think I'm definitely a person around like people, like there's so many beautiful women that I've met in the Sisterhood that just inspire me and empower me every day since July 1st. And I think like if I had never just said yes, even with so much worry and anxiety that came with it unnecessarily, if anyone is watching this and they feel like that, you do not need to feel like that at all. But I remember feeling sick. It's so funny looking back, like how much I've changed. Even at work, I've always been like confident, but even in work now, like just the way that I, you know, handle myself. Mm-hmm. I've been under pressure lately, you know, it's end of year, budgets come into it, planning for 2021, and I've taken it all calmly.
Yeah, those are adaptogens getting to work right there.
Yeah.
And tell me, the friend that told you it wouldn't work, how does she feel about your results now?
So she actually orders the bone broth religiously now. And it's funny. Hey, I remember when she asked me for some products and I was like, you're not allowed to ask for products. I was like, this is not you. You can't say this to me. But yeah, no, she gets bone broth religiously. And I wouldn't be surprised come the new year if she also
get on the
train.
And so there's a few things I want to touch on there because obviously all those things that you were feeling, I remember feeling them too. And I remember being like, really just what is going on? Like I didn't understand auto ship. There was a few things that were funky for me. And I want that anyone that is watching this that's brand new or you're looking at this for the first time to understand, you know, that that's valid for anyone. And I think that the reason it's valid is because, especially for women, everybody has tried everything. Like, you know, I don't think you're a woman over the age of 20 if you haven't been on 10 different diets in your life, you know. And so there already is this sense of, well, I'm going to screw this up. Like, I screw up. Nothing else has worked, so why would this? And when you're throwing money into something with blind faith in a way, you know, there is that moment that you're going to have. But the key, I think, that I love this company is that there is that 30-day money back guarantee. So even if you got to day 29, you'd used up all of the product almost, and you were like, this isn't for me, you can actually send what's left back, even if it's just the dregs of, and get a full refund. Yeah. And that is how strong everybody is in this, you know, and I have never had anyone do that, but I love to say it because it's like, what, no one else is doing that for you. That, you know, that Instagram, you know, coach who is putting together 8-week programs, that F45 12-week programs that people do over and over and over again. And I see those before and afters and go, okay, you busted your nut for 12 weeks. I'm sorry, I can't see it. You probably feel stronger, and that's amazing. But, you know, are you feeling it? The amount of women I've had those conversations with, you know, and all this stuff that people do, none of those are offering you anything back, you know, to hold your hand and say, this is going to work for you. We're positive of it. But just in case, and to calm your tits, if you get to day 28, you're okay. You can have your money back. It's all good.
Yeah, 100%. And it also just shows too that, like, they back the product, right? Like, like if you can't, you just feel that sense of, you know, like, it's, as even though I didn't feel this for the first day, I definitely feel it now. Like, it's just perfect. I don't know. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. Divine intervention here. I'm going to just show you a photo now because I'm obsessed. Oh. Look at that. Can you see it?
I can see it. I can't believe it. That Kate on the left, I cannot explain how I felt. I didn't remember not liking this photo. I was just incredible. Like, she was just really sad.
Yeah. And, you know, and you can see that, and this is, I know Anna and I say this all the time, and I've said it to so many friends of late who have sent me their, you know, their first 30-day results and stuff. And I've said to them, you know, like, so many of them can't look at themselves in the photo, you know, and I say it, you know, I've had 3 babies, and every single baby I go into my next, you know, challenge, Isabody challenge or whatever, and taking that first photo, whether or not you've just had a baby, whether or not you've come back from a trip, whether or not you've just lost yourself for a bit, like, whatever it is, they're all the same thing. Your body has gone through something because you've gotten away from yourself for whatever reason it is. And every time it's like incredibly daunting and really scary and super emotional. Like, I know I was talking to some of the girls last week, and they were saying, you know, just being so angry with themselves. And I think that that's what I love the most about the sisterhood and the support there, is that everybody understands that feeling of like, shit, you know, I don't know what's happened here. Like, where did I go? You know, what happened?
100%. And you know what's funny with this photo in particular? So this is the first time, so I think it was day 125 of using the Isagenix system when I shared this before photo of my front. So for my 30 days and 60 days, I shared back and side, because every time I looked at this photo from all the other days, I never saw a transformation. And this is where, like, your brain starts working, right? Because I'm like, that little voice where it's like, oh no, you've got more to go, it's not right, or anything like that. And I just remember when I posted this, I was like, it's no longer about that. Like, I need to let people know that whilst I feel great and there's certainly a difference here, that the other changes for me just speak so much more volumes.
Mm-hmm. That's right, isn't it? And that, I say this all the time, the same thing applies for you with your work, and, you know, exactly like you just said, stressful times that you can show up more for. You know, I don't know if you've heard Anna tell this story about the absolute pit of her health journey was ending up in hospital thinking she was dying, and it was a really severe panic attack. And that she just knew the next day she had to just start something. Like, so she woke up, and it was all she could manage was a walk to the end of the street. And all she could manage was, okay, I'm not going to have, you know, twisties and Coke in bed anymore. I'm going to start to find some vegetables. Like, sometimes it is about just taking one step at a time. But the difference between this system and like these big 12-week programs and all this stuff is, it's so simple. Like you said about work and Thursdays and stuff, like, it's not about, okay, calculate this, you know, weigh this, work this out. Like, you don't need a science degree
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on. It's just have this at this time. And I think in that alone, right? So just having a plan before the products are even in your hands, let alone in your body, having a plan calms your nervous system.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
having a plan just makes you go, okay, I'm good at. And then the next step is just trusting in that. And then the next step is just taking a step, which is to get the products into your body, which is really easy. And like you say, you look forward to it.
Yeah.
And then the next step, like, is going from running a kilometer to freaking 40 in the week, you know, like that is insane. But isn't it so true too about working out? The amount of people that come to me and say, how much do I need to work out? I saw, you know, I have so many people when I posted your transformation, like, okay, well, how much was she working out? She must have been doing like a full-on bodybuilding competition. Like, tell me. She's like lifting weights every single day. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, just so tell me about that. Obviously running, but you weren't like up at 5 a.m., you know, doing deadlifts.
I'll tell you two things, right? Because there's exercise and the food piece. The
Yeah.
one thing, so my favorite thing about Isagenix, and anyone goes to my Instagram from the last weekend, I said yes to everything. I think I ate 3 bagels, 4 custard tarts. I had a whole pizza. Like, I said yes and went for it. And on Monday was first Monday ever that I never felt crap. I felt amazing. And this is why I love the system, because I went straight back to my choc mint on Monday morning. I did do a run yesterday and a walk, and I feel great. Like, first time ever where I wasn't like, oh no, I feel bad, I shouldn't have done that. This for me is the perfect system where you can still say yes to whatever you want to do, which I love. 2, with exercise, not at all. 30 days. It took me a very long time to get to 5K. I went out for 1K runs, probably for the first 2 weeks till I got to 2K. So I just made a commitment to myself just to move for about 45 minutes. And that was a walk, could have been a little run. Well, in my case, it was like a long jog until I felt comfortable. I did Pilates, stretching, not very well either. I still can't do Pilates or like yoga or anything really well, but I just stayed consistent. And I think that's the biggest thing. I didn't go to the gym in that time. We were in lockdown, so I didn't hit a single gym. I just committed just to listening to my body and moving it and walking. And I think that's a good thing about having a dog. And you can see his little nose in that photo, Chili's
gorgeous.
Yeah, just taking him for walks. But no hardcore things.
No. And that's I think the key, right? Like you nailed it on the head when you said about how just, you know, instantly started to feel good. And you hear this saying a lot, but I do love it because it's true, about the lights being switched back on.
Yes.
You know, and when you say about like that brain fog, like most people don't realize that they're carrying that brain fog every day. And in fact, if you do realize it, it means you've got pretty severe brain fog. Like, you know, you really, really know it, or perhaps there's something going on with major headaches and inflammation and stuff. You know, when you really realize you've got major brain fog, something more has manifested into the body at that time. But when you start to actually have those light switch, so I had opened up my own Pilates studio. I just had my daughter, and she was 8 months old, and I'd been working full time. It was a hectic time. And I went to my first 30 days because I had gotten adrenal fatigue, chronic fatigue. I'd gotten really, really sick. And so I was carrying a lot of bloat, actually very similar to your first photo, but a lot worse, really. It looked like I was still really pregnant, and I had been doing all the things. I was eating so clean. I'd come from working in Women's Health and Fitness magazine. So I've come from this world of understanding nutrition, although I hadn't studied any of it yet. And I was, you know, I understood it. So I was eating very clean, no carbs, doing all the things. Go to all the doctors to get, you know, solutions for it all. And it's like, all right, you need to eat every couple of hours. You need to eat this. You need to weigh this. You need to start introducing this. You need to stop having carbs or sugar here. You need to have this. And I remember looking at it, these plans that doctors and naturopaths and nutritionists had given me, and every single one of them was hugely stressful. And I was like, I have adrenal fatigue because my adrenals are done because of all the adrenaline that's pumping through my body 24/7. And now you're giving me this, which I can literally feel my heart racing and everything, even looking at these plans. So I was like, no, I need to get better. I'm going to follow it. And of course, I just got sicker and sicker. But within 30 days, it was actually within about 10 that I started to really feel better. I got my energy back. I was waking up before my alarm. My alarm was going off at 5 because I would teach a Pilates class at 6. So, you know, I was like starting to get that, my mummy mojo back. But I still had some habits that weren't, I guess, amazing. And one of them was having Diet Coke when I needed that kind of afternoon pick-me-up when I was teaching classes. And I remember going to the servo and getting one. And I came and drank it and I was like, bleh! And I like spat it everywhere. I was like, this Coke, they've put like metal, there's like some kind of detergent, like there's something has happened here. Someone's poisoned this. And I like ran back into the servo and was like, someone's poisoned the Coke. We have to call Coke. And the guy was like, what? And he got a straw and had a sip and he's like, it's just Coke. And it just clicked that the toxicity leaving my body had changed my taste buds, and that things that were no longer meant for me were no longer serving me, but also my body was like physically rejecting them. And I feel that now too. I think when you cleanse and stuff, and when you get, the more you cleanse, the more you get used to it, the more that you also can pick up on little things and be like, yeah, body's not loving that anymore. We start to make changes. I know people that have, lots of really bad, poor habits with diet and nutrition and drinking or smoking even, that have completely gone because their taste buds just purely don't want it anymore.
Weird, isn't it? I actually haven't had I was addicted to Coke Zero, and I actually so part of the first July for me, I did stop any fizzy drinks just as an extra challenge, and I did no alcohol dry July as well. So all of the group that I was in for the Sisterhood committed to that, and I was like, oh, here we go, it's going to be the hardest 30 days of my life. I haven't had Coke Zero, Coke since, so I don't crave it.
Well, we got our beer cans, which is
I love it. I
have one each day. Yeah,
love it.
I love this side photo. Love it, because you can see how much stronger. See because being a Pilates teacher, I look at the photo on your left, and obviously, you're miserable too. So but you can see, so you can see automatically that carrying weight around the waist always affects the lower back. It affects your joints. You tend to lock your knees because it compensates for extra weight that you do carry. And then looking at you on the right, it's like this strength in your core and your back and your posture completely changing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing with when you talked around like fog before and that brain, for me, it was really creativity. Like I love being creative all the time. In fact, I'm going to start a new business tomorrow and I've got 50 amazing ideas. And during that time, every time I'd leave work, it was like blackness. And you talk around like switching on the lights, like it's only like that photo really, probably after the first 30 days, actually, I've just felt creativity coming back. Like I was raring to go. Like I wanted to pour extra energy into all of these other fun things. So that's why we started like doing like YouTube videos and the 12 weeks of fitness and stuff like that. Like that was really fun for me because I remember kind of waking up being like, oh, I feel like I want to do all these things now. Whereas before I just saw.
You're just in survival. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just darkness, which is just so. Sounds so
and
sad.
I mean, people have been feeling like that for, there's plenty of people that have been feeling like that for a really long way. And so I guess for the people that are watching this, they're either going to be brand new having a look at this, right? And to those people, just honor where you're at. Love the journey that you've been on. Love that you've gotten to learn about your body too. You have to love all the stages of it all. Like I can love myself, at 40 weeks pregnant, as much as I can love myself at, fitness model excellence, as well as loving your body in like all its aches and pains. Like your body goes along life, like life happens, right? But this is truly about being able to pour that love back into yourself, like we say all the time, like that radical self-love. First of all, it just does come in the way of looking after yourself with what you eat, because it's the number one thing to transform everything. It's like the fastest way to getting to where you need to be. And then from that point, you naturally will feel like moving more, because the body loves to move, but it's not going to love to move if it's in a state of inflammation trying to heal itself, And then you're going to suddenly, like you said, when you're sleeping better, when you're more excited by life, when you're buying the clothes that you really want, not the clothes you have to wear because that's all you can fit into, like all those micro things that happen throughout the day, don't you reckon? Like when you wake up and you can feel your body, like you do feel your body when you wake up, to having a shower and being able to go, yeah, you look good, to seeing your reflection, to putting some clothes on, like all that happens in your first 30 minutes. And if in those first 30 minutes you've had negative, that of course flows into your day and how you deal with your work, your relationships, your husband, your partner, your kids, whatever it is that you've got going on, it does unfold from there. It is such a ripple effect.
Yeah. You're so
and
much
having the sisterhood, as you said, the friends that you've made, I think, I see just Anna even says it herself, that this last year has been insane for the sisterhood in the community, the support, the linking arms with each other, the friendships that are being built. You know, I think that as an adult, you just don't make enough friends.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's so funny. I think my sister might watch this, but I'll put this as a little Easter egg to get her over here. But obviously in Melbourne, we had the Ring of Steel. So we had that 25 kilometres where we weren't able to go out. And my family lived down the coast in Torquay. And Sarah, who you have actually spoken to before, amazing sisterhood woman, she reached out and was like, hey, should we go surfing? We can go down to Torquay. And I was like, absolutely, yes, let's go surfing. And I hadn't even been down to see my family yet. And I called my sister and I was like, oh, I'm coming down to Torquay for Saturday, but I can't see you because I'm going surfing. And she was like, wait, the Ring of Steel's lifted and you're not coming to see us? And I'm like, she's like, where are you going? I was like, oh, I'm going to see my new friend. We're going surfing for the day. And it was so good. Yeah. And I just, the bond when you like, you know, Sarah and I hadn't even met, and we, you know, to be able to like spend the day together, and it, you know, as soon as we met, we like gave each other the biggest hug, like we'd known each other for years. And it was just a really great feeling.
Yes. And the fact that you can have an online community, but that it's very much an online community that is also very real life. Like it's not just online and there it stays and it's just another group that you're a part of. Like it's a very real thing.
Absolutely.
I love it. I'm going to read your words actually, because I just loved them. And I think it's really important that people hear this. And of course, my internet's just decided to. I love in your profile, you say, fueled off smoothies and ambition.
That is me.
Yeah. All right. So you're right. All right. Oh, of course now it's really. All right, here we are, 4 and a bit months later. And the biggest thing for me is that I'm still going. I laugh, but I've never done anything health and fitness related for longer than 8 weeks. And I think like probably like a 3-week girl here. Like I think most people are about a 3-week, right? Should have slapped myself into shape after that 18th 8-week challenge. I love it. To celebrate 4 months of hard work, determination, and drive, here are 4 nods to each month's achievement. In month 1, I didn't realize how stressed and anxious I was. I overworked, overthought, and was overwhelmed. The weird thing was I didn't know why, but today I'm more productive at work than ever before. I hear it and I see it. I'm more relaxed than ever before. I actually don't sweat the small stuff. Actually, I've got the big picture in mind and I'm here for it. In month 2, after a lot of amazing sleep, I didn't realize how much I wasn't sleeping before. I do now. The impact was probably 0.1, but I'm ready to seize the day every day. And when I'm doing sweet FA, it's with intent and love. I love that. In month 3, I've lost the loud voices that tell me I can't be bothered. Sleep in, it's cold, don't go, say no, eat this, not this. To be honest, I'm sure that they are there, but I chose to listen to the voice of defiance without even blinking. In month 4, I'm feeling fire, driven to be better, stronger, and more ambitious than ever before. Who would have thought that a change in diet and creating a routine would make such a difference to my mind, body, and soul? So here I am today, and I'm feeling fucking fantastic. I just love it. And I wanted to highlight those people.
I feel exactly the same.
Yeah, and I want to highlight it for those people that are in the sisterhood, or people that have started their journeys that start to play that self-doubt, you know, because there will be some people who watch your before and go, I would be really happy to get to where you were at day 1, you know, that their journey is longer than yours. And just reading the way you broke it down month to month is so important, because every month, if it, don't even look at the scales, don't even look at what's going on, because the incredible thing about real fat loss and the incredible thing about real transformation is it's not this giant thing on the scales often, because it's not cutting carbs and releasing water weight and losing muscle mass. It's a real thing going on. So ditching that, hashtag ditch the scales, I'm so big on that, but being able to ditch that and actually just focus in on different things, like, you know, month 1, just being able to show up better. Month 2, knowing that you're sleeping better. Month 3, like, and actually ticking off those things. I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, me too. And I think if I can say anything to anyone else new, like, take the time to reflect, right? Like even if you commit to weekly and you can't do daily, or at the end of a 30 days and monthly, like really just take that moment, whether it's writing down 10 things that you are proud of or that you felt the change in or anything like that, because we never, ever, ever find the time just to sit back and reflect and look back at that. And there's so much that we do every day that is just so powerful and empowering, and definitely do it. If you don't do it already, definitely write something down, because you'll look back. I even look back now from like day 30 and day 60 and day 90, and I am a new person, and it's strange. I'm new and improved. Not even new. I'm more energized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And you're right. And to the people that don't want to take the photos, you know, like, you don't have to take a photo. I'm not going to jump down your throat and make you come on here and show it to the world. But, you know, just for yourself, because you'll see in everyone's photos, like, none of us are like, hey, you know, it's uncomfortable for all of us in our own ways. It doesn't matter, you know, our personality or anything like that. It's just about being able to look at yourself and go, wow, good on you. And being proud of yourself is just, I mean, I could cry. I think it's one of the biggest things that any woman can do, because, you know, no one else is, until I had the Sisterhood and linked arms with other incredible women, you know, you rely on yourself to pep talk yourself a lot, you know, and that's tough.
100%. And that's even going to what some people might find in the first couple of days, right? Like, you know, getting ready and excited to try something new. Like, you've got to be there and kind of throw yourself in. You won't regret it.
Yes. Kate, I'm so happy to have met you. I said this last week to the other girls, but like, next time you guys go to Torquay, I want in on this. We spend so much time down at Barwon Heads, and it's like our home away from home. And any chance to get together with all the girls, I know that we're going to have a massive Sisterhood party in Melbourne early next year. That will be next level, and we'll all have to go for a surf to recover the next day. But thank you so much for being here and sharing your incredible story. I know it's going to support so many other women. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I've absolutely loved it. I hope if some people even took some nuggets out from my experience, and just know that it is an incredible one. So good luck to anyone who is listening that's starting out. I know you're going to absolutely love it. And if you ever need any motivation or a cheerleader, we're definitely there.
Amen. Thank you, darling.
Thanks, Chicky. Bye.
Bye.